The world's most successful funny men and women command some of the highest salaries in show business, and they certainly invest their earnings wisely. Whether it's Jimmy Fallon's quirky penthouse in historic State Park, Kathy Griffin's extravagant Bel Air mansion, or the late Joan Rivers' former Versailles-style penthouse, they seem to have the last laugh when it comes to winning the real estate game too. So let's go ahead and take a closer look into the best comedian mansions. Up first, we go to Kevin Hart's Calabasas Mansion. Home is where the heart is for comedian Kevin Hart. The stand-up comedian now has a prolific movie career with the box office hits, including the popular Jumanji franchise, Me Time, and The Secret Life of Pets, and is one of the world's most wealthy comedians. With a net worth estimated at $200 million, married to his second wife, Aniko, since 2016, the pair share a son and daughter, while Hart has 2 teenage children from his first marriage. The Philadelphia-born star shelled out $7 million for a mansion in a gated community in Calabasas, right next door to another much bigger property he already owns. His main house that sits at 10,000 square feet was built from scratch on a 26-acre site and completed in 2018. The new place at 9,300 square feet is not much smaller, but it sits on a mere 16.5 acres of land. The Mediterranean-style compound has an infinity-edge stunning swimming pool, a full-size tennis court, vast lawns, and sprawling gardens. Completed in 2004, Hart bought the pad from a Miami and LA-based film producer, best known as Queen Latifah's longtime business partner. Campiri founded Flavor Unit Entertainment back in 1995 and has since made several films and TV shows for Netflix. They originally bought the property back in 2015 for $6.5 million, so it's unlikely to have made a profit on the sale to Hart. Inside, the house has 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, a large formal living room, and a dining room, both with large floor-to-ceiling windows, with wide plank oak hardwood floors, and some feature fireplaces like this one in the living room. There's also recently an updated kitchen with stone countertops and Viking appliances, as well as a separate breakfast room and wine cellar downstairs. The fatherhood actor has even more amenities next door in his main pad, including a volleyball court, an indoor/outdoor gym, which he calls Hustle Hart, where he often works out and posts images on his Instagram. Why have one home when you can have 2 right next door to each other? Up next, we go to Robin Williams' San Francisco Bay home. The Mrs. Doubtfire actor Robin Williams was not only one of cinema's greatest comedians, but one of its most loved. There was a huge outpouring of grief in August of 2014 when the Aladdin star tragically took his own life. Following an autopsy, it was revealed the actor, who had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, was suffering from dementia and a list of other illnesses. The actor spent the last months of his life at this Mediterranean-style mansion in the San Francisco Bay Area until his death at the age of 63. He was found inside the home after police responded to a 911 call. The actor bought the property back in 2008 for just over $4 million, leaving it to his wife Susan Williams, who listed it with Compass in November of 2019 for just over $7.2 million. On the waterfront of Paradise Clay in Northern California, this property is just 15 miles from San Francisco and oozes a contemporary style. Its open-plan lounge and dining room with floor-to-ceiling sliding doors leads directly out to the external deck, where there is this ample room for alfresco dining. The house was on the market for almost a year before selling for a little over $5.3 million, which was $1.9 million less than the asking price. The 6 bedrooms and 6.5 bathroom house in Tiburon, California blends coastal decor with modern touches and also features a den, media room, a guest suite, and a library. Not to mention it has beautiful views of the water. One of the cozier areas of this 6,500 square foot house is the office, where a fireplace is set and the walls are covered in wood paneling. The actor worked tirelessly throughout his whole life, slowing down in the final decade due to ill health. Following his death, a heated legal battle ensued between his widow and his grown-up children, according to People magazine, over the comedian's possessions, which was all then solved in court. Up next, we go to Jimmy Fallon's quirky New York penthouse. Comedian Jimmy Fallon has been hosting The Tonight Show since 2014, but he's been making people smile since his school days. In 8th grade, his yearbook read, "Most likely to replace David Letterman." The Brooklyn-born entertainer and former Saturday Night Live cast member is now married to one of his producers, Nancy, and the couple has 2 daughters, who was featured at the at-home edition of his popular show during lockdown. The couple spent nearly 2 decades creating their quirky multi-story penthouse in the historic Gramercy Park Co-op building in downtown Manhattan, which has been home to several notable figures, including actor James Cagney. Situated at the top of 3 floors of the Queen Anne-style building, the expansive 6-bedroom home comprises 4 separate apartments, which the couple combined and renovated to produce his imaginative masterpiece spanning nearly 5,000 square feet. The home's 3 floors feature an array of electric spaces, including the vibrant living room with its vintage 1940s wallpaper, colorful furnishings, and wood cladding designed by Bednark. While the couple collaborated with designers on certain areas of the home, the overall playful aesthetic is accredited to Nancy, who wanted to make her home a creative wonderland for the couple's 2 children. The beautifully crafted custom staircase is a big hit with the kids, decorated with a cute mural, and connecting the home's 3 floors. The staircase's shelves display old wooden toys, hinting at the amazing secret space hidden behind the bookshelf door, which just happens to be a playroom fitted out with a monkey bars, a toy kitchen, secret hatch doors, and a chalkboard wall to scribble on. The saloon room on the 2nd level of the home features a curved bar, complete with illuminated liquor shelves, high stools, and low-level lighting. Dark wood cladding and more retro wallpaper give the space a private club lodge-inspired feel, while its west-facing location makes it the perfect spot for cocktails at sunset. It's a wonder the host and actor would ever want to leave. Yet the comedian listed the home for $15 million in 2021, reportedly selling it a year later for a few million under the asking price. The comedian revealed he intended to make his family's house in the nearby Long Island town their main residence. Up next, we go to Eddie Murphy's opulent Californian mansion. Starring in a run of the blockbuster movies in the 80s and 90s, including Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cops, and The Nutty Professor, Eddie Murphy is one of America's greatest comedic actors. Today, the star is thought to be worth over $200 million, so it's no surprise that he has learned to grow accustomed to living in some pretty luxurious properties, like his opulent mansion in California. The You the People star, who has won plenty of awards for acting and contributions to the world of entertainment, he bought the 12,600 square foot mansion overlooking Folsom Lake near Sacramento while he was married to Nicole Mitchell, with whom he has 5 children. However, Murphy sold the estate in 2007 for $6.1 million following their divorce. The 3-acre compound in Granite Bay includes a 5,200 square foot guest house and a 1,200 square foot gym, a pool, and even a sports court. There are 10 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, while the rotunda-topped great room with its dual sweeping Cinderella staircases, soaring ceilings, and marble floors make it an outrageously opulent property by anyone's standards. The house also boasts a formal dining room, a breakfast nook, billiards room, and a plush movie theater, of course. Elsewhere in the home, you'll find a wet bar, a Schimmel Pegasus piano, a circular kitchen with panoramic views, and a Shrek-themed bedroom, in reference to the animated film franchise in which Murphy voiced the role of Donkey. There are plenty of retro design touches as well, including shag pile carpets, raised bed platforms, as well as this incredible arcade filled with vintage games and memorabilia. Outside, a patio descends to an infinity-edge pool and spa, while the home's balconies overlook gardens and lawns dotted with palm trees. Despite its luxurious interiors and stunning setting, the mansion has sold at auction for a disappointing $5.5 million in 2018, which is a significant drop from its original listing price at $10 million. Up next, we go to Steve Martin's concrete contemporary mansion. From Planes, Trains, and Automobiles to The Father of the Bride and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Steve Martin has been making us laugh for decades. Today, the writer, director, and musician is still thrilling audiences with a 3rd series of Only Murders in the Building, co-starring Selena Gomez and Meryl Streep, out in August of 2023. And with a reported net worth of $140 million, he likes to dabble in real estate a little bit. So let's go ahead and move forward. This is Steve Martin's 7,400 square foot home in California, designed by Venice Beach native Roland E. Coate, who might not be what you're expecting. Cool and contemporary, the brutally beautiful bunker-style home is seriously stylish. Located high in the mountains of celebrity hotspot Montecito, the house dates back to 1970 and has been one of the area's most unique buildings. So let's take a look inside. Martin reportedly bought the home and its 2 parcels of land, which extend to almost 6 acres, in early 1995 for an unknown price. Partially subterranean, the underground residence is made light and inviting via extensive floor-to-ceiling windows. The property was built entirely from concrete, including the floors, walls, ceilings, resulting in a stark but stylish living space with plenty of industrial appeal. The unforgettable concrete crib offers a chic, open-plan layout with structural columns and expansive sheets of glass. The home's interior is not exactly cozy, but there's no denying that it's seriously cool. There's a large living room, a smart kitchen, formal dining room, 4 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms, as well as numerous patios, balconies connected to the living areas by steel-framed doors. The master suite would not look out of place in a James Bond movie. With its unadorned concrete walls and awe-inspiring views of the Pacific Ocean, it would blend right in. Outside, you'll find a bullet-shaped swimming pool, shaded lounging area, and a bunker-like guest house. The actor is reported to have said goodbye to this unique property in 2015 for a cool $11 million, but he still has plenty of homes to keep him busy. Up next, we go to Joan Rivers' over-the-top New York apartment. Born in 1933 in Brooklyn to Russian immigrant parents, flamboyant comedian Joan Rivers was the first woman to break the glass of a ceiling of male-hosted late-night television when she landed a regular spot on The Tonight Show in the 80s. She worked right through into her 70s, most recently on E's weekly panel show Fashion Police, until her death at the age of 81 in 2014 following a procedure on her vocal cords. Known for her wittiness, she was also a writer, an actress, director, and astute businesswoman worth over $150 million. Only an extravagant home would do for one of the industry's most exuberant personalities, and for the final 28 years of her life, the Emmy Award-winning entertainer lived in this opulent Manhattan penthouse, just a short stroll from Fifth Avenue. The ornate apartment is one of the few remaining great houses in New York, designed by celebrated architect Hart Trumbauer, who is known for creating mansions for the wealthy during America's Gilded Age. Built in 1903, the 11-room apartment oozes elegance and sophistication and boasts a ballroom, music room, 2 kitchens, 4 bedrooms, and 4.5 bathrooms. There's also 5 fireplaces and both a library and a dining room with Central Park and New York skyline views. The comedian's daughter, Melissa Rivers, first put her mother's home on the market following her death with an asking price of $28 million, but there was no takers. Rivers bought the apartment after the death of her husband in 1987 and undertook an extensive refurbishment, channeling a style she describes as Louis XIV meets Fred and Ginger. The beautiful ballroom with all its mirrors and dazzling chandeliers is something to be admired. The pad played host to countless celebrities, including Princess Diana, before it was sold to Prince Mohammed bin Fahd of Saudi Arabia, who planned to gut the 5,100 square foot home. However, Rivers claimed the home was haunted by the ghost of former owner named Mrs. Spencer, J.P. Morgan's niece, who had damaged a chandelier, leading Rivers to seek the services of a priest to get rid of her spirit. Whatever happened, the apartment, which also includes 2 terraces with city views, was still intact and relisted in 2021 for $38 million. After 2 years of languishing on the market without having a buyer, all in all, the home ended up selling for $34.5 million. Up next, we go to Jerry Seinfeld's ski retreat in Colorado. Comedian, producer, and coffee lover Jerry Seinfeld isn't averse to sloping off to the mountains with his family too. The star of ever-popular sitcom Seinfeld and his wife Jessica had a sprawling estate in the popular ski resort of Telluride, Colorado, before putting it on the market in the year of 2022 for just under $15 million. He then later sold it for $14 million just a few months ago. The estate contains 2 properties, and the largest sits on 27 acres and has 11 bedrooms, while the smaller 4-bedroom house extends across 17 acres. Both have spectacular views and are surrounded by aspen trees. After undergoing a huge renovation, the estate was briefly listed for around $18.3 million back in 2011, but was subsequently taken off the market. Each property has a modern farm style with wood paneling, gorgeous beams, and reclaimed plank flooring. The earthy, organic feel of the property is consolidated in the vaulted double-height great room, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering uninterrupted views of the winter wonderland scenes outside and the Wilson Range of mountains beyond. And with a grand total of 15 bedrooms across both properties, there was plenty of room for the family. Seinfeld and his wife Jessica, who have been married for 23 years, have 3 kids, so the amenities on hand, including a library, gym, yoga studio, games room, have come in handy over the years. Not to mention they always have the ski slopes to focus on. Outside, there's 27 acres of space, including a 5,500 square foot deck with views of the well-maintained trail system, winding its way through the towering aspen and spruce trees down to the creek. Telluride is known to be popular with celebrities, and Tom Cruise owns a vast resort in the area, so we don't blame them for hanging out here. Up next, we go to Amy Schumer's Manhattan Dream apartment. Stand-up comic and actor Amy Schumer is known for comedy hits such as 2015's movie Trainwreck and the sketch series Inside Amy Schumer. She celebrated her 5th wedding anniversary with her husband, chef Chris Fisher, in February of 23. The couple, whose son Gene was born in May of 2019, were nominated for an Emmy Award for their cooking show, Amy Schumer Learns to Cook, which they created during lockdown. Now reportedly worth in excess of $50 million, it's no surprise to hear that Amy has resided in some pretty sophisticated homes in her time, including this expansive Upper West Side penthouse which the star bought in 2016 for just over $12 million, and described as her Manhattan dream apartment. Clad in glass, the apartment has 360-degree views of the Hudson River and the George Washington Bridge, and roughly 3,000 square feet of outdoor space, including a wraparound terrace and private rooftop garden. It's no wonder it's called the Garden in the Sky. The 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom condo sits atop a landmark pre-war building on the Riverside Drive. The main living space is a large open-plan room with angled skylights and custom gas fireplace made of glass and anthracite stone. The life and Beth Starr revealed how she instantly fell in love with the 4,500 square foot property. She said, "I walked in and saw the views and the sunlight and couldn't have made an offer fast enough." She said, "It felt like a fancy rich person's apartment." That was just as well, because it was a home to the couple's son Gene for the first few years of his life. The pair set up an adorable nursery, but listed the property in 2022, explaining they wanted to be closer to their son's school in Brooklyn, where they have now bought a new home. The penthouse was listed for $15 million and eventually sold for $13 million in April of this year. Alright everyone, I think that's going to wrap this video up. Like I mentioned in the beginning, follow all my social media, and also 50% of the people who watch me don't subscribe. So just, if you're watching, just click the subscribe button. It's free, it means a lot. And then an alternative option would be to become a member, which costs a couple dollars, but then, you know, I'll be calling you guys, FaceTiming you guys. You get cool badges, you get exclusive videos. I'll be making videos that I can't show, like public channel. So you guys get a ton of cool features, and by clicking here and becoming a member. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you guys. Thank you for the constant support. Feel free to share this video on anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.